So this video is waxing eyebrow and lip, and we are going to start with what you do for your setup, before the client actually arrives, the things that you need to do ahead of time. There we go. So what you want to do to prepare your area is you are going to disinfect your workstation, bed, and equipment using a disinfectant wipe following the manufacturer's instructions. You're going to check your equipment to ensure all devices are in safe working order and plugged into a working receptacle. You're going to gather clean supplies needed for the facial waxing service, storing in a clean, closed container. You're going to dispense products needed for the service. You will prepare disposable portion cups for each product with a portion of the product by opening the top of the container and ensuring the tip of the nozzle does not come into contact with the disposable portion cup or tray. Or you can remove product with a disinfected or clean single-use spatula, something like this. And then you would close the lid to the product and set the portion cup or tray on the tray. You will place disposable table paper on the disinfected bed to ensure that the wax does not fall onto the bed. And then the client will arrive. So always note that when you are doing the client step that you approach the client with clean hands. We will wash ours again in a minute before we start the service, but just want you to know that when you are greeting the client, you already have clean hands. So you greet the client and escort them to the work area. You assess the client's current style and you determine the client's preferences. You're going to assess the client's needs. You will assess the client's skin by performing a visual skin analysis to ensure that there is no inflamed, infected, broken, raised, or swollen skin in the area to be worked on, or an open wound or sore in the area to be worked on, infection or infestation, for example, lice, to prevent from safely performing the service. You'll assess the client's consultation form for any medications and products they might have used within the last 72 hours, and you'll consult on any known allergies. You will consult with the client on any facial surgeries within the last 3 months and if the client is under a physician's care. You'll assess if the client is prone to cold sores or fever blisters. You will assess if the client has used exfoliating or lightening agents within the last 72 hours, like alpha hydroxy acids, beta hydroxy acids, or hydroquinone. You'll assess facial injections within the last 3 weeks, like Botox or hyaluronic fillers. If the client is free from all of the above, you're able to move forward with your procedure, which my client is. So we're going to get our client set up and then we're going to wash our hands. So what we're going to do is take our client and have them disrobe appropriately for the service, which we've done. We're going to help the client onto the bed, and then we're going to place all of the things. Sorry. Excuse me. Needed for the client to perform the service. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to put her headband on. And so what we want to do is keep the hair out of the way of the wax, and then of course protect her. And then I have a rolled up towel here that I'm going to put under her neck for additional support, so she's comfortable. And then we're going to drape her so that no wax gets on her clothing or person. So she's covered up completely and ready for waxing service. And then at this point, this is when you're going to wash your hands to get ready, and then we're going to put gloves on. So the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to get some water and wash your hands, turn the water on, and put your hands under that running water, and you're going to get some liquid hand soap. You're going to rub your palms together down to the wrists, and you're going to rub the backs of your hands down to the wrists. You are going to rub between all of your fingers, in between every finger, and you're also going to go between your thumb and your fingers. You're going to wash your fingers, and you're going to wash the backs of your fingers. You're going to wash your fingertips and your nails. You're going to wash your thumbs. You're going to do your interlocking washing motion under the water for at least 20 to 30 seconds. And then you are going to wash your wrists. Once everything is washed, you are going to rinse it thoroughly under the water. And then you're going to find your paper towels, and you're going to grab some paper towels, and you're going to turn the water off with the hand with the paper towels. And then you will dry your hands completely. And once your hands are nice and dry, you're going to find your hand sanitizer, and you are going to sanitize those hands, doing all the same things that you just did when you were washing under the water. And keep in mind that you're getting ready to put on disposable gloves, so it's probably a really good idea to let that hand sanitizer completely dry before you attempt to do that, so that your hands don't get stuck in the process trying to put them on. So we're going to put our gloves on at this point, and I've got my tray over here to the side with everything that I need set up, all my disposable cups and things here, just gloves, mirror, tissues, etc. So I have my tray close by with the things that I need on it for my client. Already ready to go. So once my disposable gloves are on, I'm going to go in to her eyebrow area first, and I'm going to assess the hair growth, the direction of the hair growth, and then how much we think that we want to take away, where and how, considering we have already discussed her kind of style preferences. We've talked about it already. So I'm looking at that, I kind of see what's happening, and I'm ready to go. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to cleanse the area with an astringent. And you want to thoroughly cleanse it. So if there's makeup, moisturizer, shadow in the brow, or brow gel, there's all kinds of things that could be in the brow right now. You want to make sure you get everything cleansed and on the skin around it as well. Eye cream, sealer, shadow, everything. Once you've done that, then you need to really dry the area. So I'm going to get a separate dry cotton round because it could be very moist, and you want dry skin to wax. You can use powder too. Just want it to be super duper dry. And once it is, you're not going to just put the wax on her. You got to test it on yourself. So what I'm going to do is get one of those disposable sticks and a little bit of wax, and I'm going to test it on the inside of my arm, temperature wise, which feels good. So I'm going to remove that, toss that, and because it felt good enough, I know my temperature is good. Removing that So it worked well. So I'm going to come in on this side first and this eyebrow over here. And I am going to be applying the wax in the direction of the hair growth. And I'm going to be removing it against the hair growth. And I'm going to pull the skin nice and tight. Once again, you're going to pull the skin and press. That relieves a little bit of the stain once you remove the hair. I'm going to tighten the skin, pull. Just giving this side a double check. It looks great. So we're going to use some little bit of residue, wax residue remover here. Make sure it's all gone. And I'm going to go with my tweezers now and maybe do any fine work like perfecting the shape. Or you do want to pull the hair out when you tweeze in the direction that the hair grows versus away from it. Nice. So we will start working on side number 2. So we need to remove any of the wax residue. And then grabbing our tweezers and cotton round, we're going to work on this side. Excuse me. Again, a little wax remover. And cut round. So looking at everything, it looks really good. So what we want to do is do the finish, which would be the soothe for the brow. Nice little soothe, soothe. And her brows look great. Knowing that she's going to hopefully be just thrilled when she sees them. We're going to go down and look at analyze the hair growth on the lip in the direction that it's growing and how much, and the same concept as what we did with the brow. The only thing that's going to be different is you don't have to test the wax because you already tested it because you're working on the same client. So we're going to cleanse first. And then we're gonna make sure it's like beyond dry, super duper dry, before we even think about waxing. nice and tight. Go right in the middle. Holding that skin tight. Now we need to remove any of that wax residue. Tweezer, see if there's anything else that might need to be gotten that the waxing missed. Going with the growth of the hair. Cannot be comfortable. And after this step, we are going to soothe this area. And then we can bring in our mirror to show our client, oh my goodness, look at that. Look at how good your brows look. Everything's amazing. So good. Don't you love it? Yes, I do. It's perfect. It's just what I was looking for. Okay, great. And so now we are in our finishing stage. And so what we want to do is to close out with the client. First thing you're going to do is remove the gloves, and you can toss them. So there, you've got your disposable gloves off, and then while she's either removing drape, or if she had on a cape or some outfit that she would change into. And then you're going to meet to check her out and discuss maintenance and aftercare, and then potentially how often she should book to come back to repeat the service, etc. What your recommendations are. And then she's gone, so you can go back to your station, and you're going to grab any implements that you used, and you're going to put them in a closed container labeled to be disinfected. You will toss any single use items that you need to. You will take all of the like the headband and the towels and the drape, and you will put them in a closed container label or until laundered. And then you have to clean and disinfect your work area. So what you're going to do is you're going to identify proper cleaning agent and read manufacturer's directions. Follow manufacturer's directions for mixing and usage. You wipe your workstation and area with cleaning solution to remove debris. You identify disinfectant that is bactericidal, virucidal, and fungicidal, EPA approved for use in salon setting. You follow manufacturer's directions for mixing and or using the appropriate aerosol disinfectant. You disinfect electrical equipment and store it in a clean area separate from other implements. And when you've done all of that, you will wash your hands. Now, you would have had gloves on again because of the chemicals that you were using in that last part. So toss those gloves and then turn your water on and wet your hands under the water. Get your coin size of liquid hand soap, and then you're going to wash those hands. You're going to wash your palms down to your wrist. And you're going to wash the back of your hands down to your wrist. And you're going to wash between your fingers and your thumbs. You're going to wash your fingers completely. You're going to wash your fingertips and nails. You're going to wash the back of your fingers. And you're going to wash your thumbs. And then you are going to take the time to interlace your fingers in and out, like washing in that motion under the sink, at least 20 to 30 seconds. You're going to wash your wrists, and then you can thoroughly rinse everything off. And once you have done that proper rinse, you're going to find your disposable paper towels. You're going to grab some, and you're going to turn the water off with the hand with the paper towel. Then you're going to use paper towels there to dry your hands off, and then you can toss and discard those paper towels into the trash can. Then you find and identify your hand sanitizer, and then you're going to repeat all of that with your hand sanitizer to complete your hand wash. When your hands are dry and you've done all of that, you can then move on to your next client and service, or you also have, if it's your end of day or whatever, you're going to go home. So that will conclude your brow wax and lip wax video.